Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Career Happy Hour. So grateful that you are tuning in with us here on Wind Down Wednesday. And we're going to get into a lot more about why this Wednesday wind down is so super special. We are streaming in all of our audio podcast areas, wherever you have your favorite podcast. We are also streaming live. So you can actually tune in to the live show by going to careerhappyhour.com. We are also experimenting with going live on Clubhouse. That's right. Clubhouse is the place to be. So, of course, that is audio on Clubhouse. So if you would like to tune into the audio, please go ahead and jump on Career Happy Hour on Clubhouse. Tonight, we are going to get started here in just a few minutes. We're going to give it just a few minutes to get all of our audience members coming and rocking and rolling. As you come in, we would love if you could let us know where you tuning in from and what is your name. So what's your name and where are you tuning in from? We would love to be able to give you a shout out. So our guest tonight, oh my goodness, when I tell you, she is such an amazing spirit. When I have that feeling about someone where there's just that kindred spirit going on. Oh my goodness, I know that there's something special about that person, and I can't wait for you to be able to meet her. So we are going to, let me go ahead and get our overlay going. Hello. For those of you who do not know me, I am LaShena Recruitalina, your six-figure career brand coach. I want to make sure that you stay visible, recruitable, and profitable, all while rocking your oomph. That's right, rocking that secret sauce that only you have inside of you. Because here at Career Happy Hour, our mission is to make sure that we are normalizing earning six figures. And six figures, as you know, does not stop at $100,000. Oh, no. When we talk about six figures, we're talking about up to one digit shy of $1 million. That's a long way. There's a lot of stretch in those six figures. And so we want to make sure that we're continuing to normalize that, talk about that, celebrate individuals who are already in that six-figure area or six-figure numbers, but also for those who are aspiring so that you know what is possible. So we are really super excited to be able to bring you guests on Career Happy Hour so that we can talk about their career story, so that we can talk about the ups and the downs and the curves and the twists, because none of it is a straight line. It's not. It does not go from A to Z in a straight line. There's a lot of zigzag that goes along with that. So we want to make sure that we're talking about that and give you some examples of how individuals have overcome that. Well, without further ado, we would like to introduce our guests for tonight, and we're going to definitely acknowledge some of our audience members who have come in. Thank you. So our guest for tonight is the amazing Nicole Anderson. And just a little bit about her as I bring her to the stage so that you can hear it straight from her. By day, Nicole Anderson is a senior creative services manager for a national brand. She is a marketing enthusiast, brand builder, results-oriented specialist dedicated to finding the secret sauce within each organization and sharing it creatively with the world. She is the mastermind behind her own line of wine called Her Wine. Please welcome to the stage with a big round of applause, the one, the only, Nicole
I need you to introduce me like everywhere.
I got you, girl. I got you.
That was amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here with us. I cannot wait for us to talk a lot more about your career story. But let's give our audience members some love. Let's see where they're tuning in from. On Clubhouse, we want to give a great big shout out to Cecilio Gill, who is tapping in and listening in to us. So thankful for you, CeeLo. We have Kimiko, who is my cuz in Montgomery, Alabama. Thank you, Kimiko, for tuning in. Happy belated birthday. I wish you happy birthday yesterday, but it's still your birthday today. We'll still give you birthday kudos today too. So hopefully you enjoyed your birthday, girl. We also have Sine, who is chiming in. Hey, lovely people. Right back at you, girl. And then we have someone else who's chiming in. Hey. But on some of the platforms, you have to actually drop in your name. So drop in your name, and we'll love to give you a shout out. All right, Nicole, let's go ahead and get some of this career story started. So, I gave that beautiful brief bio, but of course I know we don't have all night to talk about all of your accomplishments and your achievements, but would love for you to be able to tell us a little bit about yourself in your own words, in addition to what I've already shared with the audience members here.
Absolutely. So, as you so eloquently said, my name is Nicole Anderson. I am the proud owner of Her Wine, as well as by day, a marketing director for a major organization here based out of Atlanta. Been in marketing for over 10 years now. It is a passion of mine. It's something that I love. I was doing marketing before I even knew what marketing was. So it has been something that I'm passionate about. I was super fortunate to not only go and graduate from Georgia State University, the real GSU. That's a thing here in Georgia, and got my marketing degree there, and was super fortunate again to kind of just dive right into my career. I've worked with some of the best companies here in Atlanta, dabbled in all types of marketing, from event marketing to working with creatives, doing campaigns. And my spectrum has gone from, working with some of the top Fortune 500 companies to small businesses. And I did that intentionally. For my career, I wanted to make sure that I had a wide variety of marketing skill set and an understanding on how to market different types of companies through different industries. So I was really intentional in dabbling in different things, from, auto insurance, like literally the behind the scenes auto insurance, and to cybersecurity, and then now lighting fixtures. So I've had a really awesome career thus far, and decided to take all of the strategies, all of the tactics that I've learned from marketing for larger organizations and apply that for my own brand. And that's, kind of what's helped Her Wine kind of grow to where it is today.
Oh, that is amazing. I can't wait for us to talk a little bit more about that, because, yes, that is, some of the general surface level, but I love to be able to get in deep and to talk through that. But before we do that, one of our traditions here at Career Happy Hour is to bring a little something to whet our palates. So would love for you to let us know, what are you sipping on tonight?
Tonight, I am sipping on my In My Feelings, which is a peach apricot blend, leveraging Texas grapes. So I'm in my feelings in the best way possible and decided to cheers to that.
Cheers. All right. So that's a great segue, though, to your wine. I mean, this is such a special honor that, wine is my go-to. Usually, red wine is my fave. But to have someone who actually has their own line of wine on Career Happy Hour, I'm like, whew, I'm all excited tonight.
Yes.
And I love the names of your wines. So the other thing too is that HER is actually an acronym. What does that stand for?
Yes. So HER actually stands for having evolved repeatedly.
Mm.
And the idea behind that is that, we are constantly on this evolution and this growth during our journey here. The time that we have on earth is precious. And the beautiful thing is we're constantly growing to become better versions of ourselves. And so I wanted a wine that complemented that experience and that also represented some of those moments where we need to relax and unwind.
That is amazing. We have one of our audience members said, had me at peach apricot. I need some in my feelings.
Got you.
She got you. She got you. And then, that must have been Nigeria because Sine is responding to Nigeria. She says, exactly. Sounds light, fruity, and delicious. Would you say that's right? Is that kind of
That's
the
it. Yeah, so all of the blends that we have kind of ride the wave of a semi-sweet. I always tell people I like to play that middle ground, the Goldilocks of wine, essentially. And so all of the wines are semi-sweet. They are fruity, and the great thing about it is what I wanted to do was take traditional wines and give them a twist. Because why shouldn't we have fun with drinking our wines and trying, kind of unique, crafty types of varietals and blends? And so that's what I wanted to do with this line of wine, is really expose people to other types of grapes that they normally wouldn't indulge in, and then give it a twist as well.
Oh, I love that twist. I call myself the career mixologist because I like to mix it up and put that twist on what we think about when we think about our career. Because so many people think that your career is just this, 8 to 5 that some people do. When in actuality, your career is just whatever it is that, makes you money or makes you to be able to provide for yourself, because there's some individuals who their career is that they are a stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad. That is their career.
Yep.
So it
It
takes on
brings you fulfillment.
yes, right. We want it to bring fulfillment. And so sometimes we have to go on that journey. We have to mix it up a little bit. If this, it's almost like mixing a drink. If you put a few dabs of this and a few dabs of that, and you're like, ooh, that's not quite strong enough. I need an extra shot.
All right, let me add a little razzle dazzle to it.
Yes, and you got to have the garnishments, which is what the personal brand side that I coach on. You got to have the garnishments that make it look nice and appealing and optically appealing. Like your eyes, when you see it, it's just drawn to it. Yes. Get all of that, right?
You do. I love the analogy, and I tell people this all the time, even when I'm coaching people, when they're interviewing with me. It's all about that extra added touch. What's going to make sure that you're memorable when you leave, and we're looking at your paper resume. Like, what about your presence, your personality is going to leave that lasting impression? That's that garnishment. When you see a drink and you're like, oh my gosh, this just looks so pretty. Like, I just want to try it, and then you taste it and you're like, yeah, this met all the expectations. So I agree with you 1000%. You have to lead with your personality, lead with the things that make you unique. Don't try and fit yourself into a box. Embrace that and share that. And that's what's going to leave that lasting impression for people when they're like, wow, that was good. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome. So Sine, she says, it's the twist that sets it off. You right, Sine? It is that twist, girl. And then we just had, I think this is I think this is Siobhan said, just switch platforms. I am so stoked to learn about Nicole's story. Hashtag sipping Chianti.
Yes, cheers. That's a good one.
All right. Well, let's talk a little bit about this career story. I love that segue. Thank you so much. So when you talk about, your career, when you were growing up, that's, usually one of my traditional questions. When you were growing up, Nicole, what is it that you told people that you wanted to be when you grew up?
Oh my gosh, you guys, I was such like an interesting kid because when I was growing up, I wanted to be an archaeologist. Like it was so random. I was like dead. I was just like dead set. I blame Indiana Jones. I probably watched way too many Indiana Jones, Tomb Raider. Like in my head, I was like, that's what I'm gonna be in Africa digging up bones. Cause yeah, it was a whole thing. Yeah.
Were you doing that as a kid? Were you digging up bones as a kid?
I was literally like one who loved going to museums. I was fascinated with dinosaurs and just like the whole idea of like finding something that was like buried and hidden away and unearthing it and bringing it to light. Like something about that was just so interesting to me. And so I don't know. I just, again, I blame the movies, but I was like obsessed. I was like, oh yeah. So I'm like the only like eight-year-old that's like, I'm gonna be an archaeologist, and everybody's like, what is that?
The audience says you're adventurous. That was
there you go.
It was your adventurous side was coming out.
It
so
was.
Then you decided to go into your profession. It sounds like you didn't pursue the archaeologist route. So what did you pursue?
Not so much. But like I mentioned before, so I was doing marketing before I knew what marketing was. So I had the really great opportunity when I was 13. I moved from Stone Mountain to Lithonia, which are neighboring cities, literally. And my family bought a house, and my next door neighbor was a clown. So beautiful Black woman. Shout out to her, Tiffany. And she was a clown, and I'm 13, and at that point you're kind of like wanting to make your own money, or at least in my case, my family was like, all the extra stuff you want, you got to find a way to get it. So she hired me. I was a clown assistant, you guys, for a few years. I refused to dress up though. I was like, I'm not doing. I'm 13. I was like, there's no way someone's going to catch me at their little brother's birthday party. But yeah, I was like, But I learned, if you need a balloon animal, I got you. I definitely. Yeah, it's so funny. But I bring that up because she was a small business, right? And one of the things that she was looking for was business cards, a logo, flyers. And so I started making that for her in PowerPoint, in Word, and Publisher. If anybody remembers Publisher, so I started just making all of these marketing materials for her. And when she transitioned and started real estate, they had a company called Two Tough Cookies. And I created this like makeshift logo with like cookies and then a house. It was so, nowadays I look back at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I did that.
We all have to start somewhere.
Yeah. But fast forward to high school, when they have those aptitude tests and they're asking you like, all those questions to figure out, what you want to do. I took one of those tests, and after answering it, it said marketing manager. And I was like, what the heck is marketing? And honestly, my fascination and interest kind of catapulted from there, just knowing like, oh, I've been doing this for forever, and this is interesting. So why not, kind of learn it a little bit more in a more structured way. And so that's kind of how I found and fell into my passion for marketing.
Oh, wow. That is an amazing story. And for those who might not have caught this nugget, because we like to give some nuggets here on Career Happy Hour. The nugget that I heard you say is that sometimes you, out of curiosity, you do things that normally you wouldn't think would be a good fit for you, but you just never know why it's coming in your life so that
Yes.
it can unlock something else that's in there. Because otherwise, you probably wouldn't have even thought about the marketing side of it. But by being a clown assistant, that needs to go on a tagline.
I
Being
know.
a clown assistant is what unlocked your discovery that you were actually a marketeer, as what I call it. In the industry, that's what we call it, a marketeer.
I
That's
love it.
that is amazing, and I love being able to bring that to the front here because sometimes our ego can get in the way. It gets in the way, and we say, "Oh, I don't want to do that. That's not what I want to do." Well, how do you know it? How do you know it's not what you want to do until you try it? And if it doesn't work out, that's okay. At least you
Yeah.
tried it and you potentially learned something from it that you can then take on to to the next step in your journey, because we're planting seeds along the way and we just never know which one of those seeds is actually going to blossom.
Awesome. Yep. Absolutely.
And so then you went into marketing, and it sounds as if you've had quite a journey even within marketing, because when I would recruit marketing professionals, I would tell them, I was like, marketing is a really general term. There are so many different avenues of marketing that you can go. So talk to us a little bit about the areas and avenues that you decided to go with marketing.
Yeah, so it's really funny. I hit the ground running in college, and I was extremely intentional with kind of building relationships and taking advantage of being a student. And what I mean by that is, I really leveraged a lot of internships.
Mhm.
Shout out, there's this amazing organization called Inroads, and Inroads is all about bringing minority students and placing them in these, again, large Fortune 500 organizations and giving them paid internships. And we were paid very well for college students. Like I didn't want to leave. I was like, please just keep me because they have to end in summer. But it was such a phenomenal opportunity because I was able to work for Kaiser Permanente, actually. And I worked in their marketing department. And from there, that experience allowed me to really start to build out my resume. So I could, be a lot more attractive for other larger organizations to work for. So in college, I worked for Kaiser for two semesters. I worked for Arby's in their corporate. So, I went from healthcare to fast food and learning, how to market fast food, which is fascinating. And then I worked for a pest control company and went to writing and knowing way too much about bugs and rodents and how to get rid of them. Again, not really my forte, but working with them, I was working with social media. So with Kaiser, it was all about marketing collateral. I was writing constantly. And then at Arby's, I had the opportunity to do field marketing. So I was really understanding how to work with what we would call distributors, working with those franchise owners and helping them, providing them with sales enablement opportunities and tools. And then going from there and then working on SEO for this pest control company. I tried so many different things just to figure out, like, what do I even enjoy? What do I like? And even after I graduated, funny story. So I graduate college. Every college kid thinks that they're going to come out making six figures. I don't know why, but I was one of them.
That is so true. Where did they teach that in the college application? That not only that the myth that you're going to come out making six figures, the myth that you're going to come out and actually have a job lined up for you. I mean, it sounds like you did,
Yes.
a lot of work ahead of time, but sometimes it's like, okay, I've graduated now. Where's the job?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, don't get me wrong, like that was a struggle. I was freaking out. And a lot of my friends were that were in the business school. Like we were like, yo, where are the jobs? Where are
Mm-hmm.
the jobs? Or I'm applying for jobs and I'm not getting, I'm not finding that I'm actually getting hired. And it's always like, oh, you were great, but we went another direction. And I didn't have the knowledge at the time to ask like what I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just, I honestly was, and I found out later when another recruiter kind of, gave me some tips, but
Yes.
I was going into it and I was just like this robot version of myself. Like I was trying to be perfect. So I had practiced all these answers, these questions, and I just, before you even, ask the question, I already knew my pros and cons, and my con is really a pro. Like it was like, I was
You're
overly
on it.
prepped, and I was on it, but too on it because I wasn't showing up as my genuine self.
Right.
And so it wasn't until I started to relax a little bit and show up as Nicole that I finally got the job. And the very first job that I got, it was so funny. The first job that I got accepted to was actually working for Enterprise in their business program. And I literally, like, it was in Tennessee, it was in Chattanooga. I drove up there to, interview. Like, LaShena, I cried in the car when I left. It was like this trailer office because it's Enterprise. Like their thing is like it's the parking lot there and it's just the inventory. So the
Yeah.
office that you walk into to do your transaction real quick doesn't have to be fancy. It wasn't really marketing, but they had, kind of positioned it as such. But
Mm-hmm.
I cried. I was like, no, I don't see this for myself. I couldn't do it. So I left. I called my mom as I'm driving back, and I'm just like, I hate it. I don't see it. It's a trailer. And she's like, it's okay. Like, you still have time. You don't, like, you still have time. Still keep applying. Accept it temporarily. But if you find something else, you can always decline. So
Mm-hmm.
by God's grace, I found another offer with another company. And that was probably the perfect opportunity that I needed. I hated it. I was not in love with it. I was like an account coordinator, but I needed to be humbled. I needed to have
Mm-hmm.
that opportunity to literally, because up until that point, like I said, I was riding a wave. I had all these internships. I'm like, Kaiser, RB, like these are names here. Like, hello, who doesn't want me?
Yeah.
And I went into it just like a little too cocky, a little too confident. And not to say that you shouldn't be, but I think that this, showed me a lot of real world experience with working in corporate, working in a diverse environment, because this was the first time where I was in a office space where I was the predominant. It was literally like 3 Black women in the entire,
Wow.
and I was the youngest one. And this was back in 2012, and that's when Obama was up for reelection, and it was
Mm-hmm.
a very Republican office. So that was another interesting dynamic. So it taught me a lot about navigating the game and the politics of corporate, because that's all it is. It's a game. You just gotta learn how to play it.
Yeah. And you know what's so interesting that sometimes I hear people talk about, I don't like being in corporate because, of the corporate politics. There's politics in everything.
Oh yes.
I mean, even youth athletics, there's politics. There's politics. You just have to choose which politics you want to do, right? Like,
Exactly.
because it's all there. So that's where those interpersonal skills and conflict management and being able to manage through and through people, it is all so important. I love this comment from one of our audience members. I love how working started off fun for you because it clearly translates in the names of your wine. Oh, that's a great observation because your wine line is more than just what you're drinking on tonight. And I put the ticker up for everyone to make sure you go out and follow we make one on social media. We want to make sure that we give some love and support to Nicole at It's Her Wine. So on Instagram, ITS Her Wine. So go out and follow her. But what is one of the other flavors that you have? Because I love like these creative names that you have for the different flavors that you have.
Yes, thank you. So we have 3 others that are available. So we have the In My Feelings, like I mentioned, which is the peach apricot. We have Girls Night In, which is a mango. I have Finally After 5, which is a peach moscato, which I cannot wait. That one actually just sold out, guys. It was 15% because after 5, when you're drinking with a purpose, and I want to
Yes.
make sure you have something to get you there. And then my last one is actually a sweetened Merlot, and that one is called Mama Needs a Break.
Oh, wow. Those are awesome, awesome names. All of your marketing creativity is just flowing through all of those. And I can't even imagine how long it took you to come up with those names. Was that was that something that came overnight? And I actually think I saw that there was a little bit of rebranding that you've also done, right?
Yes, 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 yes. So to talk about that, so that's a whole interesting conversation as well. You know, it's funny, just like you said, politics in every aspect of your life. And there's politics even, you know, in the entrepreneurship journey as well.
Yes.
But the names of the wines and coming up with that specifically, it was honestly, it was like a brainstorm session, like I literally a whiteboard session. And I sat there and I thought about all the reasons why me and my friends were drinking wine. And I literally envisioned like a woman with like her child running up and down the aisles, and she sees this bottle that says Mama Needs a Break. And it's like, yes, I need this. And, you know, I thought about the times where me and my girls, our therapy sessions are our girls' nights in. You know, sometimes we do go out, but sometimes it's those like moments of like, hey, girl, you know, let's talk. We need to catch up. Okay, cool. I got the bottle. And I envisioned, you know, this woman like seeing that on the phone with her girlfriend. It's like, oh, yeah, girls' night in. Bam, I got it. So, you know, I really just tried to envision like those moments of why we're indulging in wine. And that's really what inspired those names. So that one, that was fun. But yeah, we did do a name change earlier this year. Um, and it was originally the name of the company was Unwind, and I changed it to Her Wine. And going back to politics, you know, it's so interesting being a minority in the wine world because there are, you know, talking about politics, we're talking about an industry that is a predominantly white male driven industry.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I am in a litigation battle with a company that kind of falls within that demographic that has a similar name as I do. And they decided, you know, that they wanted to uh, target, I would say, you know, me, but it was interesting because there are several other brands, wine brands out there that
Mm.
use that same name. And so, you know, the question kind of becomes, well, these companies have been around longer than I have. At the time that we kind of started this dispute, I had only been in business for 6 or 7 months at that point. And there are companies out there that have been around years, and that were much larger than I, and yet they had never pursued them. And so when we bring that fact to light, that, you know, hey, there is this minority owned business that is, you know, leveraging this name, but there's also some white owned businesses, male owned businesses that you have never, you know, had this, you know, kind of issue with. So
Mm.
why me? And so now we're kind of in this dispute, so to speak, in regards to ownership of the name, because unfortunately, I hate to say, like, it is black and white, but you can literally see like white companies that are all using the same names, and then me. And I'm the only one that they decided to come after. So in the spirit of perseverance, and not, kind of sitting back and letting a company bully you, because I do think that, sometimes organizations feel threatened by smaller businesses when you have a brand, when you're making headway. And so I decided to not pause or allow anyone to bully me out of business, and I just pivoted. So my second favorite word besides perseverance is pivot. And I
Yes.
just pivoted and came up with a new name, and I honestly think it's even better because now, it truly has a deeper meaning, and resonates more with me, even more personally.
Yes, I love, love, love that. And and I had no idea about the backstory there. So I really appreciate your transparency, because I think it's important for our audience to hear that two things. One thing is, I think sometimes when people think about entrepreneurship, they think, I'm going to be my own boss. I'm going to fire my employer, and I'm going to be my own boss, and I'm going to be free and liberated. Yeah, no. It doesn't always work that way. You still have people that you have to answer to. So, you going down the entrepreneurship journey is not easy. It's not as easy as I think people they think. They see the glam and, the freedom aspect of it, and, they make it a little bit more than it probably should be. Because there's a lot of work that goes into that. But the second
Yes.
thing is, sometimes we have to rebrand. Sometimes we have to pivot, and that's okay. But what we have to do is start somewhere. That somewhere may not be where we end up, but that's where we do the rebranding. So kudos to you for keeping on, showing up, showing out, not letting anything get in your way to say, you know what? No, this is my lane, and I'm going to make sure that I stay on my journey. And that's just amazing to be able to see that. And I know that all of our audience wants to make sure that we support you any way that we can. So I want to make sure that we all have a way of being able to get in contact with you. And I know the audio may be a tad bit off, but you are doing amazing. So thank you, thank you. So we have an audience member who says, Nicole said she didn't pursue her original career, but actually her journey through marketing and entrepreneurship was her own personally crafted archaeological discovery.
I love that.
We need to put that in a frame, Sine. That was amazing. Yes, Sine has some marketing in her too. She's an IT person by trade, but
Cool.
she got some amazing TikTok marketing creativity going on. I think we need to have her give us a training or two. So yes, all of the entrepreneurs out there, small business owners, you need IT support. Sine is your go-to. She's already had her show, so just go back in some of the other episodes. But Nicole, we really want to make sure that we're supporting you in any way that we can. I know that I gave individuals the your Instagram account, but I think you also have some special holiday season type of things that you want to share with us, right?
Yes, absolutely. So first and foremost, thank you guys so much for tuning in and having me have this opportunity to speak to you guys. So I do have a website. It is herwines with an s.com. And if you sign up and subscribe to our email list, you get 15% off your first order. So definitely check us out. And it's it's a fun little gift for the holiday. So if you subscribe, you might see a couple of additional coupons that come through and additional other discounts. So definitely make sure that you guys subscribe as well. And if you have any, if you're in the Atlanta area, you're looking for opportunities to taste it before you buy, we are going to be at a couple locations this month, actually, before the year is out. So next week, if you guys have ever heard, there is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful event happening called Taste of Urban. This is going to be an opportunity where a lot of vendors, at least 30 plus beverage and food vendors, will be there. If you use the code HER, you get $5 off your ticket. So definitely make sure to use that code. If you subscribe to our email list, we'll be emailing about it as well. It's next Wednesday on the 15th. And I'm also hosting my first event. I'm so excited. It's our New Year's Eve event. So I'm hosting a black tie soiree. It's all about Black excellence, Black beauty, all things Black luxury. We're going to have other Black-owned wines and spirits available. And, it's an opportunity for you to get dressed up, get cute, be beautiful, wear your gowns, and not have to deal with all the hustle and bustle and drama of Atlanta for New Year's Eve in the city. So if you're looking for something that's going to be a really great time, we're going to have food, live entertainment, DJ, balloon drops. Like, we have the whole nine, guys. It's going to be an amazing experience. So definitely check us out. If you go to the website or if you follow me on Instagram, you can find out how to get your tickets for that as well.
Oh, yeah, I'm getting on the list. I got to have all of those details. That sounds amazing. So I dropped in the website, and you see it on the screen here for all of those that are in our clubhouse. I will make sure that you have that here again. It is www.herwines.com, because of course you can't have wine without the plural. So I love that we you got to have multiple wines. That is so amazing. I'm so grateful for you coming on and just giving us some different perspective to think about, because I know in all of my family and in my connections, and I don't know any of my people who have a wine line that I can support. So I am just so grateful to be able to connect with you, and just on so many different levels, even on the marketing side. It's just, how your brain works. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, Nicole and I, we got some things that we're going to be doing around these parts. I'm so excited. And I just wanted to say this one nugget, because, one of the things that we talk about is how important it is to network. And a lot of people don't do it right. Some people just, they rather not do it at all. But that is how you and I came to meet each other, is through networking. Someone that I know, that a mutual connection, said, "Oh, you need to know LaShena, and LaShena, you need to know Nicole." Like, and we had we just had a chit chat, and it was, hearts just were flowing. It's like, oh. And you're never going to get rid of me now.
I love it. I was going to say, you can't get rid of me. Like, now we're tied forever. We're like marketing besties. So we're stuck.
Yes. Oh my gosh. These comments. Oh my God. Nicole, our career happy hour crew is loving on you tonight. We have India who says, "Congratulations, Nicole. That is so thoughtful." And then I think this is Siobhan. "People love unique and thoughtful gifts. Keep pushing and expanding. Your background absolutely complements the space." I think that, yes, right. Oh, you got the background just popping and locking over there. So that is just amazing. Well, we really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. And I know we could talk on for hours and hours, but we call it Career Happy Hour for a reason. We have to, keep it short and sweet so that we can, give people something more to want to, because we've got to have you come back, right?
Absolutely. With more wine, of course. We got to
Yes.
do this.
Yes. And now that things are, opening up, I would love to be able to have, career happy hour live and in person as well. We have a great question from the audience. Nicole, do you offer gift cards?
Ooh, I love that. I have been dabbling with that idea for a while now. So I think you just like put a nail in it that I need to do this. So not currently, but coming soon. I think I'm gonna have to just make it happen now.
All right, we manifesting around here. Look at that. We can find some resourceful ways to, I'm sure, do that. So when you get on the email distribution list and you get that email from Nicole, just pop her a response and say, hey, I would love to give a gift card for the holidays. And I know she can make it happen.
I will make it happen. Absolutely.
I love it. I love it. Well, Nicole, I would love for you to give people just that one final, words of wisdom from what you have learned, by being, in a corporate job, plus having your own business. If there's anyone, out there who's looking to do that, what are just some, a few tips that you would give them that could possibly lessen their learning curve and some of the bumps along the road that they might encounter?
Oh wow, there's so many things that I feel like God has really blessed me with, and lessons that He has, whether voluntarily or involuntarily, taught me. But the biggest one that I would love to leave with everyone is, follow your passion. Do what makes you happy. LaShena, you mentioned that earlier, that entrepreneurship is a journey. It's an uphill battle before you kind of hit that peak of hitting those multi-millions, that we're all striving for. And I think that the thing that keeps you pushing, the fuel behind it all, is your passion and your love for what you do. And that's no matter if it's entrepreneurship or even with a career. I say I love marketing because I genuinely do. And I love wine because I really do. So, it helps on those times where, it gets frustrating or things get a little tough. And, there's always something that goes on at work that's, a fire to put out, or some sort of political thing that you have to navigate. But your passion, your love for what you do, that's what's going to keep you motivated and keep you pushing forward to continue to strive for your next goal. So love what you do it with a passion. That would be my advice for everyone.
Oh, that is amazing. And I promise I did not pay her to say the name of my company because, as most of you know, the name of my company is Love What You Do LLC. But and that is that's the essence behind it, because if you love what you do, you'll do it without even getting paid. But we all need to get paid around here. But it just makes it so much more enjoyable.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, thank you so much again. Make sure that you go out and support her on social, comment on those posts, because that means that means the world to us entrepreneurs as we out here in these social media streets. It's not easy. So go and make sure that you follow her on social media, as well as go to her website and get on the email distribution list. And just as we close it out, let them know again, what is that Instagram and what is that website?
Absolutely. On Instagram and Facebook, it's Her Wine, and the website is herwines.com.
All right. Thank you so much for being here with us, Nicole. You are just an amazing spirit. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much, LaShena. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, I'll talk to you later. All right, everyone. That concludes another episode of Career Happy Hour. We are so grateful for those who were able to join us live. Thank you for all of the love for our amazing guests tonight. And for those who will be catching the replay, make sure that you drop in the comments. We want to love on you too. Pop in #replay so that we can give you some love. All right. Well, this is our final episode for 2021. I cannot believe it. This has been an amazing year, and we are closing it down for 2021, but we will be back in 2022 with even more amazement in our guests and our topics and everything that we do, so that we are making sure that we are keeping you recruitable, visible, and profitable, all while rocking your umph. We will see you later, and we want you to make sure that you are making it the most amazing day ever.